Welcome to FKU Africa Podcast. This is your host, Maneza F8, coming to you. I'm live in Worcester. I got a guest today, the guest by name of Jim Price. He's going to tell us all about him and all about what he does. So just take time to sing in the information that he's about to share with us. Brother, how are you doing?
Hey, how you doing? It's a blessing. It's such a blessing. I appreciate the opportunity to be on your show.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I appreciate you too, man. I know that we are worried about you being from Springfield, right?
Correct. Yes, Springfield, Massachusetts. Born and raised.
All right, cool. So I'm in Worcester in South Africa, in the south. So yeah, just tell us all, man, about you. Who's Jim? What you all about, man? Where did it all start?
Yeah. So of course, I was born and raised in Springfield, Massachusetts, USA. I have a 11-year-old daughter that I love to death, and she helps me with a lot of things with my promotion and stuff. I'm also a book author, and my book is social skill building stories. It's called Harold from the Hood. Right here. Adventures of Harold from the Hood. That's one of my books. It's a children's book. And I'm also a doctoral candidate at American International College. I used to play basketball back in the days, but now, you get older, the game leaves you behind. And then I work as a school counselor as well. I work as a school counselor in the public schools here. So I've been doing that for a while as well. So, in a nutshell, those are the things that happen. It's between promotion and school, working with the kids at school, and, it keeps me busy.
Yeah, that's wonderful, man. When it comes to being an author of a children's book, how did all this start, man? What motivates you to even begin writing a children's book?
Well, a long time ago, actually, I was doing social. I have to do social skill lessons with the kids. So when I did these social skill lessons, they were elementary school level kids. They're elementary school level kids. So of course, they would have probably a hard time keeping up and listening and paying attention. So one day I was like, you know what? Forget this. I'm going to take a different approach. I'm going to do something different here. So what I did is I brought in this snail puppet. And I used the puppet to, model different things and interact with the kids so they could actually pay attention to the social skill lessons that I was bringing. And of course, the kids loved it. They, would pay attention to the whole lesson. It would work out fine. And after that, I named the snail Harold from the Hood. And that was probably back in 2012 or something like that. And, throughout the school, the kids loved it. And I never thought it would become a social skill building book. Down the line. At that time, I wasn't thinking at all about it becoming a book series or anything like that. I was just focused on those elementary kids getting my social skill lessons, paying attention to the end, and in that sense, it did work for that situation.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So when it comes to this book, let's say I'm buying this book for my kids. I have a 6-year-old and also a 4-year-old. So I'm sure that it will work for both of them, just for them to start growing up. So what are the lessons that they're going to take out of this book?
Yeah, so my first book, which I did show here, this is my first book, The Adventures of Harold from the Hood, A Trip to the Park.
Yes.
It's about social skill building in terms of accepting others' differences and being open to exploring, others' differences and things like that. Being, about unity and uniting and working together for, just to, bring camaraderie and things of that nature. So, of course, in that book, Harold goes through the rigors of trying to find a friend to play with. And, of course, everybody thinks he's different. And so they want to hang out with him and stuff like that. It's a lesson of accepting others' differences. And my book actually is Friends Like Different Things. The Adventures of Harold from the Hood, Friends Like Different Things. And that one's about exploring different activities and connecting socially, because a lot of kids today, they use technology all the time to text each other and don't really talk. There's no social component. You know what I mean? So I have that book designed to explore activities they can do that can get them away from using using technology, working, getting outside, playing, exploring activities that they can do that are fun activities that would help them increase their social activity or social connectedness.
Yeah. So you mentioned that the book is also being developed into a series. Is that going to be a theater series or is going to be shown on screens?
Well, that is the plan right now. There's a movie screenplay that has been developed for my series, and I have an executive producer that's working with me behind the scenes for that. So right now, we're actually going through the process of getting to a final screenplay script. It's definitely been a fun experience going through that, like going through the script and then editing things and changing things and adding things.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, it's definitely been a fun experience. So once we get past that and get through to the the production, we'll get to the production part once we get the final script put in place and everything like that. So that is something that is being worked on now in the backdrop of everything else that's going on. And I'm in the process of trying to getting my third book in the series put out to actually have most of it done. I just have to do a little fine tuning and things like that, and then I'll be putting that together so I can have that published too, and put that as part of my the social skill building series that I'm working on.
I see that you are a busy man. So between developing books and developing screenplays and also being a counselor at school, what are other activities that we embarked on, like your hobbies that you do, like on your daily basis?
Yeah, so I still do try to get on the court a little bit recreationally. You know what I mean? I have to work. If I hurt myself, I'm gonna be wounded for a month. You know what I mean? So I can't be. But I mean, I always engage in making sure I understand that self-care is also an important part of everything that I do. Because sometimes I think people get so caught up in the idea of working and taking care of the kids and taking care of households and take care of whatever they have to take care of, that they forget about taking care of themselves and having self-care be a part of their, what they do and putting that into their, routine of things. I mean, it doesn't have to be a lot of time. It could be like just taking 10 minutes to do something that you enjoy doing. You know what I mean? Not just do something big, but at least have it in the concept of being able to do something that you enjoy, even if it's just for a few minutes a day or whatever, just taking time to do something for your self-care. And also, just exercising and things of that nature. Those are all things that can help increase self-care and increase your feelings of goodness and the things of that nature. So I always incorporate those things outside of all my studying and doing book promotions and coming up with new ideas for future books and things like that, and dealing with the publishing and then doing the script writing. I mean, it is a lot, but I always make sure
it is a lot. It is really a lot. I'm struggling even now to understand how do you find time to juggle all these things and also be busy with your educational activities, which you're saying that you are busy with your doctorates now. You also have few degrees that you have, and also masters. So I see that for you, really, education is really important, and that is what you are teaching to our kids as well. So can you tell us more about your love of education?
So, I mean, in terms of the public schools, a lot of my students that I would interact with, they have some of them, like I'm an adjustment counselor, so I deal with this different from guidance counseling. So I deal with more of the social, emotional, behavioral needs of kids. So with my job, it entails a lot of group counseling, one-to-one counseling. Sometimes I have to put out give referrals toward agencies that can provide services that kids need that are outside the scope of what may be in my domain in terms of my licensure and things of that nature. But it's a joyful experience when you see kids make progress and you teach them skill lessons and they actually utilize and use those social skill lessons and social, tools that we teach them to be able to navigate their school day and navigate, their communities and things of that nature, making better choices. I always praise and try to have kids understand that, it's okay to be frustrated, angry, upset, things like that. It's the actions behind it that cause the problem. So you making good choices, you'll be okay. But if you're making bad choices, you're going to have, bad consequences for those actions.
Yeah, really, that's really important. It's all about your actions. Whatever you choose to do, whatever your situation you are in, it can be helped or it can be made worse by your actions. So yeah, let's just take it back, man. I'm interested in knowing Jim Price from early age. How many kids do you have in the house? What kind of as family structure do you have growing up?
Oh, okay. Like, I grew up in the inner city, of course, and my experience growing up, I experienced things about racism, things of that nature. I've experienced those kind of experiences, even with police and law enforcement and things of that nature. And even in situations where, I was trying to get a job and things of that nature. And I mean, my name is a common name. So if you look at my name, you won't be able to tell, like, by looking at my resume and see my name, if I'm, black, white, whatever it might be. Yeah. And, there's been a lot of situations where, they look at the name, I get the interview, and then I walk in the door, and it's like, there's the prize. Oh, that's you? Yes, it's me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just because you talk about it can carry a conversation and things of that nature and be intelligent, and carry yourself in a way that's dignified doesn't mean, that I can't be who I am, So
yeah,
I definitely dealt with that. I think poverty was definitely one of the things that growing up too, dealing with poverty, because, it was, me and my mom and stuff, my dad was around too. He was a part of my life heavily as well, but, we are still kind of separated in that sense. So, and also, dealing with all the activity of gang violence and violence in the community and things of that nature, seeing a lot of things happen and seeing a lot of your friends impacted by, things that happen due to poverty and things of that nature. So I definitely have a lot of experience in terms of my upbringing. I think a lot of that has helped shape me who I am today, being able to foster positive relationship with others and want to inspire others to know that they can be
beef pot pie.
Yes. The inspiration part in you, because your story is really inspiring in terms of the way you strive for the kids to learn social skills, and also you're enthusiastic with education and all that. So let's talk about getting into basketball. How hard was that, getting into an actual team or playing for a team?
So I mean, my experience started back when I was like 14 years old. I started playing basketball then. My dad would, show me some things, and I would go out to the courts, the local courts, and play a little bit. After that, that was probably like 14, 15, something like that. I started playing before I got to middle school. Then I got to middle school, and I wasn't going to play at all. Actually was a baseball. That's what I started off. I was doing Little League Baseball first, and I was doing pitcher, center field, right field, stuff like that. Catcher sometimes. So, and that was my joy. I loved baseball first, and eventually, when I got to middle school, the coach over there, the basketball coach at that time, he was like, "Hey, I was like 6 feet at that time, so that's pretty tall for a middle school kid."
Wow, really tall, yeah.
So I ended up. The coach called me and said, "Hey, try out for the team." I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll try out for the team." I tried out for the team, made the team. Of course, probably only because I was tall. I didn't think I was good, but because I was so tall, they put me on the team. And then that particular season, we went like undefeated for our middle school. We were Kennedy Middle. They call it middle school, Kennedy, but it's actually back in the day they call it junior high. So we won the city championship, went 10-0 that season, and then I went on to played high school for 2 seasons, and we were actually, my high school team, Central High School, was actually ranked in the top 15 in the country during that time, back in the 90s, early 90s. We were in the top USA top 25. So, we had a season where we went undefeated, and that was cool to have that happen and experience all the connectiveness and camaraderie with my teammates and things. And then I went on to Springfield Technical Community College, where I played and was able to have some good seasons, and was nominated Junior College American, and had my jersey retired and things. So I mean, basketball's been very good to me. But Father Time always wins in the end.
Yeah. Did you play for any NBA team during that time?
No, I didn't. But one of my teammates did, and it was interesting to see how he would prepare and develop his skill set and things of that nature. So the overall experience was good. I think basketball teaches you a lot of things to do with being connected to others, working as a team. You have to accept others' differences too. Our team was pretty diverse. So, learning to accept others' differences in the terms of how cultures are different too was a part of that experience too, being a good teammate and standing up for your teammates. So it gives you a lot of social skills building, being a part of a team like that and building connections. I mean, a lot of my teammates now, those teammates from back in the early 90s, we're still all tight. We're still all, good friends and stay connected and things like that. So that experience was definitely a fun experience, I would say. I would not change that at all.
Yeah, that was a building block for where you are now in terms of understanding the community, understanding playing as a team, understanding the people around you, different characters, different characteristics of people. I understand that as well because I did play soccer growing up. I've been to high school level as well. I didn't go into pros. So in terms of the situation that is now we are facing as Black people all over the world, but mostly in America, this cops killing Black people randomly. What is your take on that, and how do you teach the young kids, especially the young Black boys, how to act around the police, or also how to conduct themselves in a way that they won't be suspects, they won't be just getting killed for no reason?
I mean, that is something that is prevalent and continues to happen, and it's sad, and that those things, the tragedies continue to happen in our country and across the country. And I just feel like, in some sense, in a lot of situations that we've seen, in some situations it's been, even if you're complying, there's been situations where still tragedies take place. And I think that's one of the things that has been being looked at more closely in terms of trying to change laws. I know they were, like you think about the Black Lives Matter movement and all that kind of stuff that was going on just, earlier in the year and things of that nature. It made you realize, that there does need to be change. There does need to be laws that need to be changed. There does need to be some form of being able to, understand the dynamic of how law enforcement interacts with people of color and things of that nature. But I've always been one to say, just try your best to comply with what's going on and hope that, the situation will, be for the best interest and come out for the better. Unfortunately, that's not the case for a lot of, young Black youth and Black citizens across the U.S. right now. And that, I just mean that it definitely plays a role in terms of, when we talk about social inequality and things of that nature, and, needing to have more laws put in place to, do these things, to, protect citizens who are unarmed and not doing anything. I mean, there's always, I always go back to I think it's the Garner versus North Carolina case. It's from a while back, but in that case, the Supreme Court had made a ruling saying that you're not supposed to officers are not supposed to use lethal intent when you have a fleeing unarmed suspect. And, in that case, that Garner versus North Carolina, I believe that's the case, but the Supreme Court had made that decision and that ruling in that particular case, and it just baffled me to know that, okay, the Supreme Court made a ruling like that, but then there still continues to be this upheaval across the country of these things happening.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of accountability as well, because even if we have those kind of laws or those, I think they are meaningless, though, because for the sense that there's no accountability whenever something like that happens. We know from the cases of Zimmerman, from the cases of George Floyd and the cops that they killed him. That one was the clear first degree murder. They should have just prosecuted all of them because for that. But there's no accountability. There's no prosecutions. There's no severe penalties for these guys. It just continue happening, and we just living in a scary world. Just in a way that I'm even scared to take a vacation to America because I'm a black person. A mistake can be happening that I'm walking in the street and I'm being pulled over by police and get shot for no reason. Yeah. So these things are really scary to us, even though we are not really there in America. But we do stand together with you guys going through these kind of things. The last thing that I want us to talk about, what is new for you now going to this to the end of this year? What are you planning to do? And also, are you planning to write more books, and what else is coming?
Yeah, so I definitely am going to be having more books in the series. I got the third one in the works right now. I'm also going to be working on trying to finish up my doctorate degree too. I'm working on education, so I'm supposed to be graduating next year. So they already got me starting the dissertation process for the doctorate program I'm in. So I'll be definitely working on that and putting together new ideas and doing, putting together some, book signings, book tours, things like that. I'm still in the process of, working on promotional things going on, like having some opportunities to be on TV with some opportunities and things like that, which helps promote the brand also. And also, knowing that, in the backdrop of everything, working on the movie script and things of that nature to move forward with production, that's definitely an exciting part to be a part of that process and everything. So, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and I continue to, put, prayers on things that I do. I pray, on the things that I do to be able to inspire youth around the, around the globe, around the world, and not just in the U.S., but around the world. That's my purpose. I feel that's my purpose, to be able to inspire kids around the world to be able to know that they're capable, and especially kids of color who deal with a lot of adversity in terms of growing up and the things that they deal with on an everyday in and out basis. Being able to inspire kids to be able to know that they can do positive things and choose a direction in their life that is meaningful and helps them to be, upstanding citizens in their community.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited for this book. If someone is looking for this book, where can I find them? And also, where can anyone get you on social networks?
Yes. So my books are selling on Amazon right now. So if you go to Adventures of Hero from the Hood, A Trip to the Park, Adventures of Hero from the Hood, Friends Like Different Things. Those are my first two books in the series. They're both available on Amazon, or you can visit my website, which is JIMPRICE books.education. And on there, I have also coloring books that are associated with my the readings that I put together. So, there's coloring books on there. On the website, there's a bunch of information about me, interviews, podcasts that I do. I do have a podcast show myself, the Educational Analytical Development Show, which we talk about issues of education throughout the U.S., like issues that are happening within the education system throughout the U.S. So I have my hand in that too. And you can find me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I don't know the links off the top of my head, but
I will edit some of those of your details on the link on this description, and the podcast will also be on Spotify and other avenues. So I will edit I do have your details that you send me. I will edit all of those, your social networks, and also your website. What is the name of your podcast again?
The Adventures of Hero from the Hood. The Adventures of Hero from the Hood, A Trip to the Park. And the other one I don't have, but the other ones are Friends Like Different Things. Adventures of Hero from the Hood, Friends Like Different Things. Both of those can be found on Amazon. And if anyone needs to reach out to me myself, I also have my email address at JIMPRIC@yahoo.com. So a lot of my business and stuff, I do that through, either the email, connecting through the social media platforms and things of that nature.
All right, man. Thanks it was a blast talking to you. Really thankful for this interview. It's live now also already we're doing it live, so it's gonna be live. I'm just gonna do an edit later on, putting all the information and all that. It was nice talking to you, man. It's still a morning there. I'm hoping when I have a nice morning. I'm in the evening.
Yeah, it is. It's 11:23 a.m. in my time right now. So I mean, it's just more. I used to be cooking up some scrambled eggs and getting that breakfast together. Get on this. You know what I mean? But definitely pleasure to be on your show. Glad to be able to connect with all my brothers and sisters in Africa and stuff like that. And I'm hoping the viewers and listeners are understanding, hey, we got to work together, stick together, and unite ourselves to be able to make change across, that's not, in Africa, but across the globe. There needs to be a unified front to be able to go against racism, discrimination, and things of that nature. And I'm wholeheartedly on board with that. So I appreciate the opportunity and being able to, be in front of a different viewing audience, and explore things and talk a little bit, have some dialogue.
Yeah, man. Thanks. It was nice talking to you. We'll talk again soon.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Take it.
Yeah, all right, guys. That was Jim Price. I hope you did enjoy the conversation that I had with him about his book that he has, The Adventures of Herod from the Hood. I hope you're going to go to Amazon and search for that book and buy it. Peace. I'm out.